Hi. Hey, it's Becky from Power Tools. Now I'm live. I'm sitting here talking to myself. Good morning, everybody. It's Becky from Power Tools with Thread. You are in our Stitchuation room. This is a Monday through Friday virtual retreat, quilting retreat, stitching retreat, where we hang out in here and you follow me along on my sewing journey. And I hope I inspire you to put something under the needle. Good to see everybody here. Harriet on the road again. She's always on the road. She says she's kind of getting tired of traveling, and I can't say as I blame her. Hey, hit the thumbs up button if you guys wouldn't mind, and subscribe. We are going to do a 1-year anniversary of the Stitchuation room on the 28th of August of this year, a couple of weeks. And Donna wants to know what program I have on my long arm. I'm using Diana. It's early. Pro Stitcher Premium, ma'am. That's what I got. So I have got a list of vendors that are all signed up to participate, and we're going to do big giveaways the whole time. Now, I have a question for y'all. I can do the giveaway on that day at 7 a.m., but should I back it up a little bit, a couple of hours, so that our friends on the West Coast don't have to get up so early? Y'all let me know in the comments or in the chat. Okay, but the grand prize is from McQueeney Sewing out of Tempe, Arizona. It is a scan and cut SDX 325, exactly like the model that I have, along with luggage for the scan and cut and a 24-inch scanning mat. And he's even throwing in a $100 gift card. So you can grab yourself a rotary cutter if you want it, right? Stacy says, keep it at 7. Okay. All righty. Well, good. All right. You guys are on this. I love it. Because we got folks on the East Coast as well, right? A lot of folks watch Pat Sloan in the morning. And then she finishes up 7:30, 7:45-ish Eastern. And so when she gets done, then those girls go and those folks go and get fresh coffee, take a comfort break, and then pop over here at 8 o'clock their time for 7 a.m. my time. So, Patsy, you're having trouble getting your binding seams sewn together. Can't seem to get them together straight. I use the diagonal method. Interesting. I was showing my granddaughter how to do just that with the perpendicular, placement of the fabric where they make a cross, and then you sew from V to V. That's how I do it. So, all right. Yeah. No need to confuse things. Anne says, let's just keep this clean. Okay. Hey, you guys had many times asked me about, you call it my triangle hanging method. It is not. I learned it from Laura Koya at, It's So Easy, something like So Very Easy. So I'm in the middle of getting the binding on the Happy Halloween quilt, and I wanted to kind of show you what this looks like in the works. So this is the triangle binding method. I got pins everywhere, you guys. All right. So what you do, this is in place of a hanging sleeve because I don't want to hand stitch the bottom edge of a hanging sleeve. Pure torture. Okay. So this quilt, mine, is like 57 inches across. Right? So what I did was I took 5 10-inch triangles. 10-inch squares. Let me take this one off. All right. I pin them in a couple of different places so that they stay put. Okay. So this is the triangle hanging method. Okay. You take your square. Now the math behind this is not hard. So if the quilt is 57 inches across, 5 10-inch squares would be like a total of 50 inches, right? Because the edge of the triangle that goes in the seam allowance is still 10 inches. It never changes because you put the long edge up in the seam allowance. So 5 of them, and I like to do odd numbers so you've got one in the middle, and that prevents the center from drooping if you've got it hanging on that rod. So 1 in the middle, and then maybe it's a smaller quilt and you only need 3, 1 on each end, 1 in the middle. But for a larger quilt like this one, 1 in the middle, 2 on each side, and then center the other 2 triangles. Okay, so here we go. And you just take a square and you make it into a triangle and then fold that into a triangle again. Okay, so this is your triangle. And all you have to do is sew the top long edge into the seam allowance. The only hand stitching that gets done is down here on the bottom. Just a couple of stitches to tack that corner down. If you are lucky enough to have a center seam in your quilt that you can kind of invisibly do that by machine, that's even better. Okay. So, no, I'm not changing the time for the show, Cindy. The time for the anniversary, I was wondering to see if we want to do a little bit later. Okay, you have this fabric, Billy Lou. It's perfect. It's perfect for Happy Halloween. It looks like a cloudy night, doesn't it? I love it. Okay, so then all you do is take the long edge of the triangle and you just put it right up next to the edge of the quilt so that it is right up there on the edge of that. See that? It's the exact same thing. It doesn't matter which way it goes. One side of it is going to have a fold and a single fold, and the other side of it's going to have a double fold. And then I will fold the binding over so it knows where I want it to go. And I pin it on both ends. And then I pin it in the center. Okay. So it's all pinned in. And then I take another pin and I pin that, the point to the quilt, kind of bury that. But that way it doesn't get accidentally slipped up. Okay, so now it's all good to go. That'll work. So there are 5 of them on this particular quilt. This is the easiest way to create a hanging triangle sleeve for your quilt. And if you get smaller, if you do smaller squares, all that does is decrease the amount of space that the rod has to go through. That's all it does. Because I did cut 6-inch squares first. They were too small, way too small, or 7-inch, I think. So they were way too small. Will I show a taping of the layout for the gingerbread man? Yes, I will. Yeah, Pamela. There's going to be a video just for the gingerbread man. You betcha. Okay. Thank you, Linda. Absolutely. Subscribe, y'all. Helps the channel, and it's free. And you have to be a subscriber to win on my anniversary show. I can see who's a subscriber and who's not. YouTube provides me a list of my subscribers. All right. So this looks great. Very happy. I got to show you guys. You can't get this on the website. Julie from Designs by Juju digitized this just for me. Look at my triangle in the words. See the spider web up in the corner, that little triangle design? Isn't that adorable? She's so sweet with a spider. I love it. My square on this one was 10 inches, Elizabeth. She wanted to know how big the square was. So Laura Koya said to use 8-inch or 10-inch squares, whichever works. There's no hard and fast rule, you know, and odds are it is going to be too small and you'll have to cut more. So this is not a grunge. This is a 3-yard 108 that Missouri Star had on sale for something. I could get 3 yards for super cheap. They do that every once in a while, and I always make sure to grab those. Okay, so that's what I had wanted to show y'all and working these, and you'll get stuck to death. So hopefully this will get finished today. I have some videos I have to make today. I got to do one for another one for Merry Christmas. Can you get the border fabric anywhere? No, ma'am. I'll tell you, Lisa. The reason there was a delay on the kits being sent out when we started this quilt, waiting on this fabric from a company to get it to them. Thank you, Estelle. I appreciate that. She says it turned out really nice. So there was a delay on being able to get this border fabric. The original quilt was designed with some CAFE that had spots, but that's no longer in print. So they had to find something like it. So I know. Why did I have to tease you about the spider web? Story time. I told Julie, I said, I'm going to show it and you're going to have to put it on your website. There's just nothing else for it. You're going to have to. This thing's heavy. Let me move it. Oh my goodness. I should have worn my Creative Notions shirt yesterday when I was showing y'all the Creative Notions box, right? June wants to buy a 24-inch cutting mat. Do I use standard or low tack? I prefer low tack, my friend. That's just me because I cut fabric face up. Okay. Love the spider web. I know, it's so cute. It's so cute. She's got one on her website, but it's not in that corner. It's not that corner shape. What did I do with my coffee? Oh, it's here. I was like, where did that go? So, hi, Scotty Dog. Scotty Dog is running the kitchen. We have a virtual kitchen. Please wander over there. Just like any stitching retreat you go to, there's always a kitchen with goodies in it. Hot coffee. Frida will be in here in a minute. I don't know where she's at. Okay, so wanted to show you guys. I got in the new patterns from Villa Rosa Designs. Villa Rosa Designs is a U.S. company out of California. It is owned by a lovely lady by the name of Pat Fryer, and she does 5 patterns a month. Her subscription is $8.95. You can find these in all quilt shops all over the country, and they're usually $2 to $2.25 in the shops. But on Pat's, if you go to her site, you get them for $2, or if you subscribe, it's $8.95, which is cheaper than $2 and free shipping. She also has a lot of fabric, and she does not charge shipping on the fabric either. I've never seen her charge shipping. So lots to do there, but I want to show you. And then she also has a table runner pattern as well. If you sign up for that and there is a table runner or placemats that month, your credit card will also be charged for that if you sign up for that part, and they're $1.75 each. So let me show you the ones for this month. This is Nevada. I love this. You can use any fabric that you want in these. This is a wonderful beginner quilt. Okay, Nevada, it's like a baby quilt. It finishes at 36 by 45 and it uses 6 fat quarters. Very, very cute. So if you've got a little fat quarter bundle, you need something to do with it, that's perfect, right? Hoppy Scotch. This is cute. Remember playing hopscotch when we were kids? Hoppy Scotch. This is 44 by 64 and it uses 5 fat quarters and 1 1/4 yards of background. So that's real cute. That would be cute to embroider something like numbers, right? Or applique some numbers down the center of the white part. That would be cute, wouldn't it? What a fun little quilt. Kingpin. Okay, Kingpin uses 6 or 5 fat quarters with a theme, and it finishes at 54 by 67. Okay, that's really cute. I don't see any diagonal seams on that, I don't think. Oh, yeah, those sew-in flips. S'mores. I think this is an oldie but a goodie. This is adorable, okay? 4 light fat quarters, 3 dark fat quarters, 6 medium fat quarters, finishes at 51 by 68, S'mores. This is a great truck quilt, car quilt, you know? You've got some extra fabric laying around, not sure what to do with it. You don't want anything fancy, right, for a car quilt, you know, for the dog, the kids, whatever. Everybody has to have a car quilt. Hollandale, I like this. This is pretty. This is cute with solids. Look at that. The main fabric is 8 fat quarters, and then it has 5/8 of a yard or 4 fat quarters for the accent fabric. And it finishes at 40 by 50. Okay. There's a purpose for all of these. This is just precious. This is new. This is called the Buzzy Bee Snack Mat. Look at that. This is the placemat for this month. Buzzy Bee Snack Mat. They are 8 by 14, and the pattern makes 2 of them. 1/8 of a yard of black, 1/4 yard of background, 1/4 yard of yellow. So cute. That's really neat. I love that. That's just adorable. Very cool. So there's your patterns from Villa Rosa Designs. You can go to villarosadesigns.com. Oh, they have an app. I got a lot of new folks on here. I haven't talked about their app in a while. So you can go to your app store. Let me do VILLA. All right. Villa Rosa Designs. There's the little heart. See the little heart there? Where's she? Let me see. She doesn't have one of her patterns. No, didn't have one of her patterns. Okay, so I'm going to tap that. So there it is. Welcome. You get your rose cards and my list. Okay, this is so cool. So if I go to rose cards, all right, let's say I have a panel, or I have a jelly roll, or I have whatever, and I don't know what to do with it. Okay, you need a queen size quilt pattern for blue bonnet fabric, Linda. So that blue bonnet fabric comes in, you've got to decide whether you have it in yardage or you have it in, fat quarters, right? Okay. So this is really neat. You get a list of all of their cards, and there's hundreds of them, right? So up here in the menu, it's got 3 dots in the menu. This is totally free, you guys. Let me see here. Oh, I'm sorry. So, sorry, there's a filter. See that little funnel? There's a filter. I'm going to touch that. And then here, you can scroll by cards, by year, fabric requirements. Okay. So there you go. You've got 1 yard, half yard, 10-inch squares, 2.5-inch strips. There's your jelly rolls, your 5-inch. Fat 6, fat 8, fat quarters. Okay. We have theme and yardage. All right. So let's, and panel. I've got it sorted on panel already. I'm going to go to, let's see, let's do 5-inch squares. Undo panel. And then I'm going to hit the filter again. So I've put it on, I've got a little charm pack. I don't know what to do with it. Let me see. I didn't do that right. I need to clear my filters. Clear filters. Okay. Filter again. And I want to put in 5-inch squares and filter. And it brings up all of the patterns that they have that use 5-inch squares. Very cool. Very cool. See that? A lot of runners in there. Just a neat way for you to be able to, so they have clear filters right here. Every time I want to clear the filter. Okay, I've got blue bonnet yardage. Let me see. Let me go to yardage. I'm on the filter now. Yardage and filter. Whoop. Let's see. Yeah, it came up big time. Now, Villa Rosa Designs generally does not have ginormous quilts. So there's my girl. There's my Frito. Hi, Frito. Where you been? We were looking for you. You ready for your goldfish? You're 20 minutes late. Where you been? There you go, good girl. You get them? All right. And we got a Dave biscuit. You want a Dave biscuit? She likes it. Thank you, Dave. She likes her dog biscuits. There you go. Not a girl. Were you outside chasing? She likes to chase those cicadas. She gets them in her mouth, runs around. I'm like, ugh. She's a good girl. Yeah, good girl. Good girl. Okay. A little cameo from the dog. So Hashtag Frito running in. You knew you were late, didn't you? Where'd you go? What are you doing? All right. What else did I want to show you guys this morning? Oh, there was a pattern I forgot to show you the other day. It's available at the Fat Quarter Shop. It's called On the Boardwalk. This is a baby quilt, 36.5 by 40.5. This is really nice. It's a little beginner, great little beginner quilt. Okay. You take a square or a rectangle, sew some ends on it, and sew some top and bottoms on them. Sash it. Easy peasy, right? Pretty neat. It uses 8 fat quarters. So it's called On the Boardwalk. What it is. It's So Emma for the Fat Quarter Shop. Okay. Title of the video. Nesting diagonal seams. If you're new to quilting, that can be a bit of a pill. So I want to show you what I'm talking about. This is one border side I've gotten done. This is for woolly wall hanging. That's what I'm working on right now. And this is a quilt by Coriander Quilts. Okay. Okay. It's not hard. You just got to kind of, let me do this. Be at one with the fabric. That's what we got to do. Be at one with the fabric. And get your pins out. Okay. So diagonal seams, that's what I have here. These are the pieces that make this up. Okay. And I've got diagonal seams here. So we're going to nest, when we put these together, there's a nest that happens. I've got a video right below on how to get perfect points on the sew and flip method, and also how to nest seams. And it's baby step. Okay. For brand new quilters, not you seasoned people who know what you're doing. All right. Thank you, Patty. She said, Willie's looking good. So when you put these pieces together, you're not only nesting the seams where the main straight edges are, here and here, you're also nesting these. See this? There, and the green and the black. Okay. That's a challenge to be able to get that, to have it look exactly like that, where you're getting the nest correctly, not only on the long seams right there, okay, but also on these points. That's hard. So it's not insurmountable, not at all. So the pattern tells you which direction to press your seams, okay? When you're making those little triangles, the pattern will tell you, and it gives you an arrow and tells you which way to press your seam. Thank you, Marcia. Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you so much. I appreciate your super sticker. It's very thoughtful of you. So so it tells you which way to press your seam. Well, that's all fine and good until you need to nest 2 seams that are both pressed that direction. Now they don't nest. And if you try to sew them together, 2 things can happen. One thing will happen, and that's a bunch of bulk. And number 2 that could happen is they will not meet on the point where you want. So what I do, this is just what I do, you guys, okay, is I go ahead and, Keith says the seam rippers are available in the online site. That's powertoolswiththreadstore.com. Okay. So what I do, all right, is change the direction of the seam allowance on one of those. That is the very best way to be able to get these done. So, okay, I'm going to get you in here, and I need my little board behind me so I can see what I'm doing and make sure I sew these in the right order. Okay. Let's see. So the tan goes to the bottom. Let me pull a little ironing station over here. Okay. It's all about the pinning and the ironing. So, all right. These things, so on when you're doing, I know some of you are doing woolly wall hanging along with me. So the outside ones have the seam allowances that are pressed downwards, right? Upwards. Okay. So the seam allowances are pressed downwards on this one. Is that right? Upwards, up, pressed up and pressed down. So these are designed to nest on the main seams, the main straight seams. So they're going to be sewn like this. But when it comes to getting those points, the seam allowances are both pointing inwards and one of them needs to go out. It doesn't matter which one. Okay. Thank you, Carol. That's very thoughtful of you. Or Carl, I'm sorry, Carl. Thank you, Carl. I appreciate that. Okay. So it doesn't matter which one is going to be, you know, folded the other direction. Let me get in here real close so you can watch. Okay. All right. So all I'm going to do on the top one, it's easy because it doesn't have a straight seam holding it down one way or the other. I'm just going to fold this back and make it go the other direction. So that it knows this is where I want you to be. All right. Now these down here, they're already folded in the seam one way. They're already folded and sewn to be going this way. We're going to fight gravity here, and I'm just going to push it the other direction. It's not going to like it, but that's okay. No problem. Get used to it. I'm going to do it for all of these diagonal seams. Just push them the other way. You can make a little crease in the seam allowance. Yes, I can acknowledge the boy quilters. Of course, Carl. Absolutely. Absolutely. I've got lots of guy quilters that watch me. I should know better, right? So I'm going to do this on both of these. So it's my center panel that is going to be going the wrong direction. I'm going to have to change that. Now, you might, when it's all said and done in the quilting, it's not really going to make that big of a difference. You won't notice a whole bunch of bulk or anything. And what you end up with is you just get a little fold right there, and it's fine, okay? You won't even notice it. I am not a fan of pressing my seams open, and I find this process to match diagonal seams when they're pressed open almost impossible. That's just me. I just don't have any luck with it. That's just me. Yeah. Okay. All right. This one's easy because it doesn't have that seam like the other ones. Okay. So now when I go to pin these together, the bulk is not that much, Carissa. You can now. Bernie was on here yesterday. She is a long armor. She doesn't like seams that are pressed open either because they create holes in the long arming. You're new to quilting. Do you tip your long arm person? Not generally, Cece. Not generally. You can if you want, but not generally. Okay. So the first thing I do when I'm putting these together is I want to nest the straight seams first. And that's easy enough to do. You just butt them up together. Okay. I just find nesting difficult. Now, when I nest, once the seams are butted up together, I take a pin and I go in diagonally from the bottom to the top at a 45-degree angle, not straight. Okay. The pin does not go like this. The pin goes like this so that as the needle travels down the fabric, I can go over this seam where they are butted up together. I can go 1, 2 stitches over this and then pull the pin. That's why I pin at an angle. Okay. And then this one, same thing, butt up those seams right next to each other and in one side of the seam allowance and out the other at a 45-degree angle. Okay. And now I'm going to put the ends together. Make sure those don't dance around. Okay. Okay. Now, on the diagonal seams, here they are. Because I have already ironed them and pressed that one, now they want to butt up to one another, just match the edges. Now, on the diagonal seams, it's already on a diagonal, I will pin straight in one side of the seam allowance and out the other. Okay. Same on this one. I don't leave this to chance because I don't want to do it 2 or 3 times. Weaken my fabric in the meantime. So I just put it together. Just make sure they're nested well in one side of the seam allowance and out the other. On the pinning, I pin straight on the diagonal seams. Butt them up together. This one's going to be tricky for some reason. It's got an attitude. You can leave it to chance if you want. I'm not that much of a gambler. All right. And then get these straight at the top. And we are ready to go. Okay. Oh, I've got my binding foot on. Let me pin these. Change out that foot. Okay. That's how I do it. Okay. Gifts. Yes, that is exactly why. She says that at times I get my seam off by about 1/8 of an inch. Is it because I pin straight? Yes, that's exactly why. A diagonal pinning on a straight seam is a stronger pinning because those feed dogs underneath are pulling that bottom fabric through faster than the top fabric. Okay. And they just come apart. That diagonal seam, that diagonal pinning, what that's doing is that's holding the lower fabric in place, believe it or not, in 2 spots, in 2 areas, lower and upper, instead of in the one spot. I hope that makes sense. When you pin straight, you're only pinning a certain few fibers in one location. Okay. When you pin on the diagonal, you're pinning fibers at one spot low and another spot high, and it keeps them together. Give that a try. Okay. Frida, to answer your question, when you already quilted the background quilting like I did on the Halloween quilt, what type of quilting did I do on my long arm? That was stitch in the ditch. That's what I did with that. It turned out pretty good. I was pretty happy with it. Oh, wrong direction. Righty tighty, lefty loosey goofy. Yeah. All righty. Let me change my foot quickly here. I can show you. Oh, I've got black thread in. I can't have that either. I was doing the binding. I gotta switch that out too. I'm just not ready. Just not ready. Okay. Where is that from? Lynn, thank you so much for your sticker, sweetheart. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You are a doll. Okay, so there we go on that. Yeah, if you're brand new to quilting, you'll find quilting fundamentals here. I need to change out my thread. Put this down. I change my thread on my sewing machine the exact same way I change it on the embroidery machine, by tying it off up at the top into a big loop. Okay. Drop the tails behind the loop and then pull them through the loop and then pull the thread through the machine. Just easy peasy. Okay. I need to get it through the needle. That's always a challenge. Okay. What do we got here? Well, would a walking foot be better? You can quilt with a walking foot. Not so. This is a 1/4 inch. This is a straight stitch. It has a walking foot, but there's not a 1/4 inch mark. You can try it. Nothing says you can't. All right. Let me give this one shot using the needle threader on this machine, which is horrible. And it doesn't work as usual. That's the only thing I hate about this machine is the needle threader. Somebody said they thought that the PQ 1600, they had improved the needle threader. I don't know. I haven't looked at it. Okay. So now let's stitch this together and see if I did it right. What's on my blog? My blog is powertoolswiththread.com. Alrighty. Let me put this through here. All right, so let's get this going and see if our points are right. Don't sew over your pins, not cool. So I'm just 2 stitches over that seam now on the straight seam, and I can pull that diagonal pin. I am going over the straight pins to make sure that that seam allowance is caught on those points, those diagonal seams. All right. There's the straight seam right there. I'm going to go 1 over it. Now I know it's locked. Okay. There's the end. All right, and if I did it right, we should match our points on the diagonal seams and on our straight seams at each one. Okay. Money, you guys, that's it. Okay. Why would you drag your walking? Awesome. Good for you, Bernadette. Got some Lori Holt charm packs. You gotta love that. Yeah. So that's how you sew. That's how you nest diagonal seams. Works like a charm. Okay. Ta-da. Gotta love it. Okay. That was also said the accomplish was improved. It was not improved. I was wondering about that. The Baby Lock Accomplish is the identical machine to the Brother PQ 1500, 1600, identical machine. Down to the pinstripes, y'all. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. That's my internet, you guys. I apologize. Yeah, I had heard that too, you know, that they had fixed that, and I wasn't sure. So, y'all, I got this PQ 1500 on Amazon. At the time, it was like $7.99, right, for this machine. No, this one was on one of the first Amazon Prime days, and I got it for like $400. So I was at a quilt store in Vegas before So Yeah purchased it. So Yeah wasn't in existence at the time. And I saw the Baby Lock Jane. And that Baby Lock Jane was like $1,600. And I was like, it's the same machine. Oh my gosh. This was long before I knew anything about, the industry. I was just floored. What is that? Ah. But there are Baby Lock people out there, just like there are GMC people out there that won't buy a Chevy. Yep. Oh, that turned out so pretty, you guys. So pretty. Look at this. Just beautiful. Love it. Okay. Okay. All right. So I'm ready to do the other one now. Somebody asked me, what's the board behind me? My husband Keith made that for me. It is two 8-foot purple foam boards from Home Depot, the insulation foam boards. And it has 2 layers of white batting on it, 100% cotton batting. And then he framed it out with trim. See, framed it out with the trim. So, okay. So now I need to make sure that I put this on the right side. Which one was ironed? That was this one. So it's the middle. And now I'm ready to do this one. There we go. Is that cool? Oh, upside down. There. Is that right? Yep, there it is. Okay. Made on the same assembly line. I have heard that. I have heard that. I'm so selfish, you guys. I'm so incredibly selfish. I am, you hear on the news that China may invade Taiwan, and I'm like, no, my brother machines are made in Taiwan. Don't mess with my sewing machines. That's all I care about. Isn't that terrible? Oh, well. I'm sure the sewing machine industry will continue no matter what happens in the world of politics. All right, world events. Pin this together. There you go. So you got your first one for 600 at the time they retailed for 15. I think it depends on the region you're in too. Mine was, like I said, on Amazon. And then after the Amazon Prime, it never was on Prime days again. And they began to sell it for $7.99. And so I have purchased 2 of these. I have this one here and I have one at the coast. And the one at the coast was $7.99. But that was brother selling them directly on Amazon and not having the middleman in there. How did Keith hang the foam board? Keith, can you answer that? How you put that foam board up there? I want to say he screwed it to the wall. I don't know. I think he did. All right. Again, these things are going to be a little bit difficult on the red. Hard to feel it. You don't mean that, Keith. We're not in New York. He doesn't know what he's... What are you talking about, Keith? We're not in New York. We're in Texas. He didn't mean to do that. Okay. Okay. I hope that red one works. It was giving me fits. We were in New York when we went on our last cruise. Get over that pin. one more over that pin. There we go, on that diagonal seam. Yeah, this is just my method, you guys. A lot of people do things differently, and if this method doesn't work for you, then find a method that does. I'm not the be-all to end-all on this. I just explain what I do and how and why I do it. And sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes, most of the time it does, but sometimes it doesn't. And this time it did again, right? So there's the red. There's the horizontal seam. There's the green diagonal seam. There's the black horizontal seam and the black diagonal seam, and they all met. So the trick is to make sure, thank you, Bernadette. She said, my method rocks. So the trick is to make sure that one of your diagonal seams, you encourage it to go another direction with the iron. So it says, oh, that's what you want me to do. Okay, I'm down. No problem. Okay, and these all need to press one way. That's what we're doing, right? Which way? Which way are we pressing? We are pressing this way. Okay. All right. Yeah, I think he screwed that foam board up there. I put one layer of batting on it and it wasn't enough. I could see the black letters on the purple foam board shining through. And I said, I can't do that. That's an expensive design wall with 2 layers of 100% cotton batting on it. But it's okay. Worth every penny because I use it every single day. All right, let's do these. I got the Candyland from Villa Rosa Designs on the long arm yesterday. I got the top on, so that's good. The backing was on the day before. I got the top on. And today I'm going to get started on doing some stitching on that. Awesome. This is how we do it. Okay. Love this. So we'll do like this. Okay. And then this one is like this. Excellent. Very cute. Getting there, huh? Looks great. Very, very cute. Very, very cute. All right. Late to the party. Can I show the back? Sure, KK. Hold on a second. Yep. I just redirected the fold on that one diagonal seam and then creased it so it didn't get bulky. It's fine. It'll stitch out just fine on the long arm. You won't even notice it. So the border is pretty. I've never done this method before with 3 different colors of fabric in a border like this. And then you do your corners separately when you put it all together. Okay. There is a 9 patch to this, right? 1, 2, 3, and then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So you put it all together like a 9 patch and then put your borders on there. It's going to be super cute. Super, super cute. So hopefully I'm going to work on another section this morning when I get done here, and then yeah, I'll do another section this morning and get those together when I get finished with you guys. So that'll be that one. And then so this should be done by Friday, I think. Judy wants to know if I was ever stationed at Fairchild in Spokane. No, ma'am, I was not. I never went to the Great Northwest. Nope, never did that. Shan wants to know if I'm enjoying that long arm. I've had my share of long arms. This is my 3rd, and it's my favorite. Yeah, I'm loving it. I'm really loving Pro Stitcher. I really am. This software is so user-friendly compared to others. I tell you, I had my first one was the Butler. I struggled to get advance the quilt. I just couldn't get the gist of how to advance the quilt. Did you glue it to the wall, Keith? I think you had to glue that foam board to the wall. He's saying the installation board will work anywhere. The type of glue will make it permanent. I think he did have to glue it to the wall because that foam board wants to bow, right? Bernadette says, you heard Pro Stitcher is a great system. It is. Yeah, it really is. It really is. I just really enjoy that software. I am loving everything I do on it. You know, it's so friendly to me because I'll poke around on it and I'm like, I don't know. And then there's so much education on YouTube for it. So that's wonderful. So lots of Pro Stitcher users here. Yeah. Everybody's griping about the needle threader on these machines. It's horrible. It's horrible. Should your scan and cut have come with a scanning mat? No, ma'am. That is an extra accessory. They do not come with scanning mats. So if you are wanting to do the snap-applique method with me, then you need to be sure to get a scanning mat. You're going to want it. Yeah, IntelliQuilter is a good one too. I've heard that as well. Yep. Yep. Let's see. Deb needs a long arm class. Deb, yeah, you reach out to your quilt stores locally. If they are ever going to have one, they'll let you guys know. I know Harriet here. I met Harriet at the retreat in McQueeney, the retreat house in McQueeney. So, Quilt Stores, Fiberworx did bring her in to come and do a class. So that's always neat. Yep. So yeah, I'm glad there are a lot of long armors that watch this channel. That's cool. I'm very humbled by the people who watch this channel. There's a lot of professionals on here that are really very good in the industry. And then people who are super smart that, didn't work in the quilting industry and they're quilting now that they're retired. And it's really neat. So I'm very, very humbled by the people who tune into me to watch and see what's going on in our world. Well, you guys, this is it for me today. I'm going to jump out of here a few minutes early. I've got a busy day ahead of me making videos. So it has been a pleasure. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. And if you watch the replay, thank you. I appreciate that. Hit the thumbs up button and be sure to subscribe, okay? So that you can be eligible to watch on the 28th and win some goodies because we got lots of cool stuff. All right. All right. We will talk to you soon. You guys go sew something. See you in the morning. Bye.